I mean, obviously it's great to be back, and it just never gets old. It's such a challenge to get here throughout the season, so many ups and downs, and all the teams deal with injuries and other things, and just so proud of this team that fought so hard to get here, and they deserve to be here. So with that, just excited to get it going on Saturday night.
We'll start with questions for the student athletes.
Mark Garland, College Baseball Central. Zach, how much confidence does it give you that your team is fielding 984 behind you, the best fielding team left in the bracket? I mean, you're going out there and pitching, knowing that those guys are going to make plays behind you all day.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it allows me to, miss over the plate more and let them put in play because I know my defense behind me is going to make outs.
Matt Byrne, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Cam, for you, with all those kids yelling your name, they're trying to get your attention. I mean, first, is that something? Did you expect it to this level? And what did you think of it?
It was a cool feeling. It's good to be back in Omaha. Give my dad a hug there on the warning track. I saw him pregame doing all this stuff to the field. I told him he should have mowed because the grass is a little long, but that's okay. But it's a great feeling to be back. A lot of kids, some of my siblings were in there, so it's just kind of cool to see all those little faces and smiles. It's cool.
Cam, kind of piggybacking on that, is it kind of almost surreal when you think about your journey and the field you have back at the farm and all that, just reflecting on being here is almost like a storybook story. I mean, it's really quite a journey.
Yeah, it is surreal. It's a dream come true. It's a cool journey. It's very fun. It's a lot of blessings. It took a lot of people to get here. It wasn't just me. A lot of coaches throughout the years. My dad, obviously, all my siblings. Lots of hours spent with them. It's good to be back in Omaha.
Stakis, local Fox and NTV. Cam, known you a long time. For you to give your dad a hug on the field and say, "I love you, Dad," on Father's Day weekend coming up, is there a better Father's Day present that you can give that man?
I don't know. I think that's a pretty cool gift, but I'm hoping to take him duck hunting this winter in some pretty cool places, so that'd be a cool gift also. But it's just a special moment for me and my family. Glad it could happen here at Arkansas and happen here in Omaha. It's a cool place to be.
Noah Darling, College Baseball Central. Zach, everybody's talking about Cam's kind of unique connection to Omaha. Coming from East Carolina, is there anything extra special about, obviously you're not playing for the Pirates right now, but anything special about carrying on that hope of reaching Omaha and now doing it in your career?
I mean, every baseball player's dream in college is to make it here, and like Coach said, I mean, the team's living it. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are in D1 and want to get here, and only 8 get here. So it's just a great feeling to be one of those 8 to get here.
Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Cam, there are very few players in this series or in college baseball today that even know what Rosenblatt Stadium is. I know it's a very special place in your family's history. Can you speak to your knowledge and understanding of that place that you gained growing up, and maybe how your family felt about this stadium up until a few years ago?
Yeah, so when everything was getting moved from Rosenblatt and they were tearing it down, I know the city and even my family, we were kind of disappointed. We had a lot of memories in that stadium. Grew up running around that stadium. Jesse Cuevas was the head grounds guy. My dad kind of has some sayings for me. He says, "Viva la Rosenblatt," every time we drive past the hill where the stadium's at. I mean, before that stadium got tore down, I know when it was still really nice, that final season, me and my dad and my brother Carson, we went out there for a couple hours. And I was pretty young, and we just hit and played out there for the longest time. It was just us 3 in the whole stadium. It was a really cool moment. But, I mean, when we moved to the farm in Sargent, Nebraska, on our wiffle ball field, we had the final out at Rosenblatt on a Rosenblatt scoreboard in left field of our wiffle ball field, and that was really cool. I have a lot of cool memories there. It's a really cool stadium.
Jackson Fuller, Southwest Times Record. For both of you guys, can you maybe share, like, what is Reese Robinette like as a teammate, a guy that maybe didn't start the season playing too much and now has worked in? And Cam, specifically for you with that, did he help you at all in the transition to first when you started playing there this year?
He's the best. He's the best teammate. Love playing with him. Love playing on the right side with him. A kid who's stayed in the program. That's not something that happens every day. So we're so happy for him as teammates that he's here. He fits Arkansas really well. That blue collar kid from Missouri. We love hanging out with him. He's a really good first baseman. He can really hit too. Love playing with him. I love Reese. But.
Yeah, I mean he's one of the best teammates, and a guy like him who hasn't had the playing time the previous years that he might have wanted, and this year it's really easy to kind of just sit back and not really work as hard. But I mean he's one of, if not the hardest worker on the team, and I mean it showed. He gets his opportunities, and I mean he's shined up to this point.
Noah Bieniek of 11.7. Question for Cam, and then Zach can add some input if he'd like as well. Cam, first off, have you shown any teammates yet of a local fishing spot that you like? And secondly, this team looks very loose. The last couple of years playing at home hasn't gone your way, but this year you get that first win over Tennessee, and it's like a breath of fresh air. The entire atmosphere is just unprecedented, like uncomparable around college baseball. Just a very loose group. Describe the vibe in the clubhouse right now.
Yeah, I have not showed anyone of my fishing spots yet, and I don't know if I will. Maybe a couple select few, but we're here to play baseball first and foremost. But
Good answer.
Playing. Oh, just this team is so loose. Yeah, it's just a group of guys who like to be around each other. I think it's easy to be loose when it's like that. You don't want to play scared or anything, especially in the postseason. You just want to play free, play loose, have fun. That's what this group can really do. So we're excited to be here.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, we're playing a kids' game, so, and why not have fun? And I mean, like I said, we're one of 8 teams left playing this season, so, I mean, it's no time to start playing timid or anything. Just go out there and play how we have been, and good things will happen.
Yeah, and I'd say we're all very competitive athletes, but we all have personalities that are different. So you have to be a competitive athlete to get to this point, but you can also have a smile on your face when the time permits it. So we're really good at doing that.
ADG. Zach, for you, these last 2 starts especially, you've kind of kicked it into gear as an ace, whether it's the velo, the emotion. What would you kind of attribute that to now going into Omaha?
Yeah, just basically just keep the train rolling. I mean, I want to go out there and set the tone for the however long we're here, and just put my team in a good chance to win.
Joe Medzer, ESPN SEC Network. Forgot to introduce myself last time. Sorry about that. This is for both of you. Could you just talk about going through the gauntlet of the SEC, how it prepares you for this, and is it kind of ironic that you end up facing LSU after all these games, and will that maybe help or hurt the familiarity with them?
Yeah, I love playing in the SEC. Power arms, power bats, a lot of great players. And it prepares you for the postseason. You play a lot of really good teams in the postseason. You play good pitchers, and the SEC, I think, has the best pitchers. So it prepares you for this time of year in a great way.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like we were going to face LSU at some point in this next week and a half or so. So why not just make it the first game and get it out of the way? But I mean, the gauntlet just provide us with the chance to go out there and face super regional and Omaha caliber teams. I mean, we've are battle hardened, and we've seen every possible punch thrown at us, and we just rolled with them, and it's going to be a good week.
Adam Kruger, CBS Omaha. This one for Cam. You're going to inspire a lot of kids this weekend in your hometown. What message do you have for them if they want to get one day where you're at?
Yeah, be a hard worker. Do things the right way. Have a smile on your face when you play. Play with perspective. Just play free. Have fun when you're playing this game. Never burn any bridges. Be a great teammate. When you look back and you look over your career and you think about people, you're not going to think about how many home runs or strikeouts or walks or anything. You're not going to think about that. You're going to think about how they treated you and how they made you feel. So just be a great teammate throughout your career.
Cam, one more for you about the Omaha connection. When you were going through the draft process as a senior at Millard South and you heard from teams and you talked to your advisor at that time and there were opportunities for you, the decision that you made to stay firm, how much that had to do with the hope and the possibility that someday you could be here in the stadium?
Yeah, that was a big part of it. Going senior year of high school, I wanted to play in Omaha. I just knew I wanted to be in these shoes right now. I wanted to play in Omaha. So that definitely factored into that decision, and I'm glad it came true.
Last one for our student athletes.
Guys, how much would it mean to get this championship for Coach?
I mean, it'd mean the world to him, and it'd mean the world to us to, be the first team to get it done for him. I mean, he's one of the best coaches in the business, and I mean, it shows everyone respects him and everyone thinks of him as one of the best. So, I mean, there's just one last thing that's missing from his trophy case, and we're going to go get it for him.
Couldn't have said any better. Let's get the job done.
Cam, Zach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And good luck this
Thank
week.
you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll now open up for questions from Coach, or for Coach.
Mark Garland, College Baseball Central. Coach, we've talked in the past about how hard it is just to get here. Getting to Omaha is a difficult thing. Can you talk a little bit about what makes this team special and guys like an Aiden Jimenez who step up and do a big role for you guys down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of mentioned it. What makes it special is that these guys, they really like each other. They're kind of throwbacks. A lot of them, they're just gym rats. They hang out at the ballpark. We've got nice facilities and nice locker room and areas. And now we have I don't know what you call it, but we're calling it a pond back there behind the center field wall. And they got 15 guys fishing out there all the time. They're out there in little boats now. I mean, it's comical. I love it. And they just get along and like each other, like I said, and they're talented. And if my rest of my coaches were sitting up here, they'd say the same thing. They make it fun to come to work every day and make it like it's almost not a job. And it's really not a job. It's just kind of a way of life anyway. But it's they're a fun bunch. There's personality there. I think they've really just grown as a team. I mean, it's really since probably the second week of fall practice we've seen it.
Matt Byrne, ADG. Hi, Dave.
Hey.
Back to a regional format this weekend. What's your plan for pitching in the openings of game 1 and 2?
Well, right now, I mean, obviously, we're going to throw Zach on Saturday. It's no secret, The Monday game, not sure yet. So we'll just take it from there. I mean, honestly, let's just try to get through Saturday and go see what happens.
Jackson Fuller, Southwest Times Record. Coach, given last year, how vindicating has this season offensively been for you and for Coach Nate Thompson and seeing, what he went through the last year and then the offseason?
Yeah. Statistically, it's been good all year in a lot of different categories. And, the last couple of years we've fielded well and we've pitched pretty good and the hitting's been up and down. And the difference is we're just more balanced. We have a better lineup. Guys are having good seasons, and great job by Coach Thompson and Coach Wernis. And we got some new guys, and some guys got better that were here. We brought some other players in, and they're having maybe the best year they've ever had. So. When you get guys that keep getting better, it's a good feeling as a coach. You feel like you're doing something right. But yeah, it's been a good feeling knowing that some games you just got to outscore people by a lot. You got to hit your way to a win, and we can do that.
Scott Rapolay with the Baton Rouge Advocate. Dave, you and LSU both have guys who can throw at 100 miles an hour, and you're not the only teams here or not the only teams in the country. Your thoughts on the proliferation of guys who really have this incredible velocity these days, and where do you think that's going?
Yeah, it's I've said it all year. The arms in our league have been amazing. I mean, the arm strength. I remember the weekend down at LSU, just kept running guys at us that were throwing 99, 100 miles an hour. I think I hit 102 that weekend. Maybe it was something else. And we've got a few guys that can bring it, but so does everybody else. Think about playing down at Georgia, and could go on and on. It's right-handers and left-handers with big arms, and kids are bigger, stronger. They train better. It's just I see it staying the same, and I think 97 is going to be normal in 5 years, and then maybe more. And it's tough to hit it, but they got to throw it over the plate too. When you learn to lay off of it, it's a big key. But then you got kids that are, you got 20-round draft instead of 30 or 40 or 50, and some kids are turning down the money. There's kids that are getting to college that you kind of go, wow, how did they not take him? Or why didn't he sign? And maybe he wanted too much money. So the professional baseball is letting us develop him for a few years, and that's what you're seeing. Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, we could talk about it for a long time, but it's not just the SEC; it's all of them. All the leagues have guys with really good arms.
In the middle here. I'm curious what you've learned about this ballpark coming back multiple times now and how it plays, and if you give any thought year to year in building your roster based on knowing this is where you'll have to get it done ultimately.
Yeah, we could talk about that for a while too. You got to build your roster to win in your league first, in my opinion. And but at the same time, you got to have some guys that can do some things. You got to be able to cover some ground in the outfield here, obviously, and you got to be able to play defense. You make mistakes here, and it'll cost you. Some days here the ball just doesn't go anywhere. But if the wind's out of the west, northwest, north, it's going to travel pretty good. Now southwest, southeast. Like today, I think it's southeast, pretty much blowing straight in, something like that. But the game's not just all about hitting home runs. You got to be able to do some other things, and whether it's just advancing runners and having a productive at bat. If you don't do that here, unless you just can slug all the time, hit the ball over someone's head, which some days is a lot tougher than others, it's tough to probably get through this tournament.
Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Dave, what, if anything, do you address with Cam about the spotlight, the potential for added pressure in this environment? And can you also speak to his development from last fall when you got him on a pretty quick turnaround to this point?
Yeah. So I did talk with him before we left to come up here about, the media and, make sure, people are going through our SID and, don't let it weigh you down and turn them down. You only have so much time here, and don't look back in a couple of weeks and, wish you'd have done it differently. Talked about, just a lot of the kids that are going to be here, and you want to be polite, but bottom line, you just sometimes you got to say no. And I think he gets it. And we've had to do that with our shortstop throughout the season, and I talked to him about it too. He just wants to play baseball right now. There's too much for him, and I don't know. And his development, Cam's very loyal. I feel that. He's such a good person. When he left, I don't think that was the plan, obviously, and there was a reason he left. And once he got in, we were on it. And I went and watched him play in the Cape. Coach Thompson went and watched him play in the Cape. Once he got in the portal, we went and met with him. So were some other schools, and but I think when he got to school, just the human part of it just wasn't comfortable yet. Maybe, I left that school, came to this one, and we talked to this team a lot about we to be comfortable here. We want you to love it at Arkansas. We want you to love being a Razorback, you know, and it's hard to do when you get guys who are 21, 22 years old. Cam was only a sophomore. Felt like it would come, but he didn't have a good fall at all, and he'll tell you that. It bothered him a lot. I think he felt like he was letting people down, and, you know, he wasn't in the starting lineup at the end of fall ball. But then when he came back, you know, so we did a lot of talking with him. Coach Thompson did a lot of talking with our offensive coach, and, you know, just about relax. You're here now. You're better than that. We know you are. It's going to be fine. And then after he came back from the holidays, it just seemed different. And then you're like, wow, okay, there he is. That's the guy right there, you know, in practice. Like, now we got to try to find a place to play him because that guy's doing well and that guy's doing well. It was a really good problem for me. And, you know, that's one day I just called him up and I said, hey, I called him on the phone. I said, hey, what'd you think about playing first base? He goes, I'll do whatever I got to do. I said, well, I got a first baseman's glove sitting right in front of me on my desk. You can come get it. We'll talk about it. Well, I stepped out of the office. I don't know where I went for an hour. I came back, first baseman's glove was gone. And that was that. He was at first base taking ground balls, and he ended up starting at first base. And, you know, the story is that my starting second baseman got hurt at Georgia on a base running mistake and dove and tore his shoulder up. And, you know, Cam started playing over there more. And, you know, here we are. So, yeah, it took him, his development's there. The talent's always been there. The strength is there. I just think mentally he had to know that everything was okay. It's okay. And he's been great, putting up good numbers.
Noah Darling, College Baseball Central. Coach, heading into this year, you mentioned that your team was on a mission. What are some of the traits that you've seen, not only this regular season, but as the postseason, managing all these emotions? And you mentioned Cam's return to Omaha here. How have they handled all that, and how do you think this team is still mission-oriented despite all the distractions?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we came in second in the SEC. So we didn't win the league. Texas won the league. We swept Texas at our place, like 7th or 8th the weekend of the 10 weeks, and but we still couldn't catch them because they had such a big lead. But because we still had to, I think we had just played at Georgia, we played at Florida, at LSU. Tennessee was coming in. That's the way we finished. It's like we just kept going. Woo, yeah, here we go. And I think it made us tougher. It made us stronger. I don't know. These guys, they just, I wouldn't so much say chip on their shoulder type team, but just really determined team to play and not have the season end because they like playing, man. They want to play. They want to win. It's been fun.
Noah Bieniek of 11.7, Coach Cam Kojal, Zach Root this year, Vahiva Aloy up for Golden Spikes. He was a transfer portal addition last year. There's plenty more other transfer portal players on this squad for this College World Series team. Your overall thoughts on the portal, because I mean this as a compliment. You're part of the old guard and college coaches. Your pros and cons as you see it of the transfer portal.
Yeah, it's first off, as a coach, you got to get the right players. Yeah, the talent's out there and the experience, but you got to get the right ones. You got to get the right ones that really care. I'll give you a quick story. So Root pitches Saturday. We win 4-3. Sunday, we get out to a good lead. We're going to win the game. We just got to get it over with. Our guys, they celebrate a little bit. Zach Roots had tears flowing. I mean, that kid, that's beautiful. That's what you want. You want guys that buy in, that they want to go. And so, you know, the transfer portal's tough. It's, you know, I have mixed emotions on it. First off, you know, as a coach, you recruit a kid, you'd like to keep him in your program and play some as a freshman, probably start as a sophomore, as a big-time player as a junior, and he signs a contract. That's the way it used to be. In our league and most of the leagues now, I mean, they're old. Leagues are old. It's hard to play as a freshman. You got good freshmen that go to other schools, maybe smaller schools, and they get them right, and then we get them. And, yeah, it's very difficult. But this is the way I talked to our coaches about it 4 years ago. We either got to embrace it or we need to get a different job. And that's what we did. We said, okay, this is the rules. This is what we got to do. So that's what we did. we've had some really good experience getting some kids that their makeup. There's kids that have been sitting in my office, and after we had a discussion with them, when they walked out the door, we just shook our heads, said, no way. And they've gone places, and they've done really well. We just didn't feel like it was a good fit. Asking too much, if you know what I'm saying, just too much. It's like, what about development? What about the draft coming up? You know, that's where you're going to get her done. But, yeah, I mean, I'm tiptoeing around your question a little bit. It's a tough one. And it's worked out for us this year. It worked out 2 years ago. Last year, okay, not so good. Although most of the kids that we've gotten from other places have come in here and had almost their best years, and they've signed, and it's gone great. And they come back and work out at our place in the off season. So I feel like they bought in and they love being a Razorback, and that's important to me. I've been there for 23 years now, and I went to school there and coached there. I want those kids when they leave to feel like I feel about the school. So it's tough as a coach these days. And I know how tough it would be if you were at a really good mid-major and you lose 4 or 5 of your players every year that you can't build around them. It'd be super tough.
We have time for one more question.
Matt Byrne, ADG. Just with the general talk out there about reseeding, what in Omaha, what are your thoughts on the two, highest seeded teams playing each other in Game 1?
Honestly, I haven't really thought about it too much. I mean, I've seen a little bit of discussion about it, or somebody put something out, people comment on it. I'm going to play each other sometime. I'm not all about it. I mean, that's the way the brackets read. If you as a coach want to say, well, if we win this one and that one and that one, that's who we're going to play there, probably. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, you get 2 SEC schools playing each other, and they're both very talented, and I don't know how there's going to be enough seats here on Saturday to get them all in there, because there's going to be a lot of red here and a lot of purple here, and I just hope it stays calm in the stands a little bit, because it could get crazy.
That concludes our press conference, Coach.
Okay.
Thanks for your time, and good
you.
luck this week.
Thank you.